Hello, ladies. Welcome to my channel, White Up Coach. We are on the last day of the 21 days to feminine magnetism. Today, we are going to be talking about um, neediness, clinginess, desperation. And today's topic is titled Needy Ain't Cute. Needy ain't cute. So let's get right learned a lot about yourself during this 21 days. If there's things that you've discovered um, that has helped you to um, really understand the importance of your femininity, has really helped you understand how to use your femininity in order to attract the best man for you, then I want you guys to talk about it in the comments. Let's talk about what you've learned over these 21 days, right? And what you're going to take with you beyond this journey, and how you've not only become more feminine, to attract the man that you really want to attract, but also for yourself. How has your feelings toward yourself changed? Because this is a self-discovery journey. This is not just a journey in order for you to attract amazing men. Yes, that'll be a side effect. Yes, that'll be a bonus. But really, anytime you do any type of inner work, the result should always be to better yourself, right? So that is the purpose of this 21 days feminine magnetism, is to really discover your inner goddess, to discover your inner feminine um, nature, who you truly are as a woman, your true womanhood, right? So I hope that you have learned. I hope you have enjoyed this journey. I hope you've taken good notes. You did the questions to really get introspective. And I want to hear about it. So let's discuss it in the comments. If you're wondering what book I'm talking about, once again, the link will be in the description, as well as if you want to learn from other women who are also taking this journey, feel free to join my free Facebook group. The link will also be in the description. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so today is called Needy Ain't Cute. So when a person goes into a relationship emotionally needy, they are not going to have discernment in choosing people. Jennifer O'Neill. So this is the quote for today, right? So this woman is saying that when you go into a relationship emotionally needy, you're not going to be able to choose the right person for you, right? And so you're going to accept a lot of behaviors that you would not accept if you were whole, right? You're going to accept a lot of mistreatment. You're going to think lust and infatuation is love. You may even think a man being jealous or possessive over you is love, because you don't know what whole love feels like. And you will never be able to know what whole love feels like if you don't already have that wholeness within you and you're not whole yourself, right? So you have to first be whole in order to attract a whole man who is going to give you whole love. Because if you're emotionally needy, you're going to attract predators. You're going to attract men who are going to prey on your neediness, who are going to prey on your desperation. Because in some ways, that neediness and that desperation, that clinginess that you have inside of them speaks to issues that they have inside of you, inside of them, right? Because an emotionally healthy and whole man would never be attracted to an emotionally unhealthy woman, right? You guys are not on the same wavelength or the same vibration. So anytime you attract a man into your life and you're emotionally needy, sometimes that man may also be emotionally needy, or he may have corresponding or complementary traits, right? So he may prey, or he may like to prey on weakness, on a woman's weakness for him, right? So that's why this quote is so accurate for this day, for this section, is because you are who you attract, and you attract who you are. It's a full circle. So if you don't want certain types of men to come into your life, you need to do the inner work to change you. That's why I'm such a big component of women doing the inner work. Too many women are trying to put band-aid on situations, and they're looking outside of themselves and looking at men to fix, and they say, okay, well, my ex was a problem. And then they get into a new relationship, and then they have the same issues over and over again. It's like, he cheated, the next guy cheats, the next guy cheats, the next guy cheats. And it's like, if someone keeps showing you a pattern, it's not them, it's you, right? And I'm not saying that you deserve anything that's negatively happening to you. So don't think that I'm saying that. But I'm saying take accountability to fix yourself and bring yourself to a level of wholeness, so that you will change the type of men that you attract into your life, right? So you can only attract whole and healthy men who can give you a whole and healthy love if you yourself are healthy. You have to be healthy, right? So so as you read this section, you will see that, and I really want you to go through this section and really read it and understand it, right? Because if you are an emotionally needy or clingy woman, you're going to turn off an emotionally healthy man, if you even attract him in the first place. But if for some reason you attract him, maybe he's very much physically attracted to you, okay, you may have him in your life because he's physically attracted to you. But once he starts to get a hold of your emotional neediness and your clinginess and your desperation after the initial infatuation wears off, he's going to run for the hills, right? Now, if a man stays with an emotionally needy woman or clingy woman, he has his own internal issues. He's probably needy, clingy, and desperate himself, or like I said, he's a predator or something complementary to that, right? A narcissist and stuff like that. Narcissists love women who don't have any type of standards and are desperate and things like that. They love that, right? So, um, so you have to learn how to get fulfillment within yourself. You have to learn that a relationship isn't meant to make you happy. You're supposed to already be happy. You're supposed to already be a whole individual. And then that person will come and they will already be a happy, whole individual. And you guys will come together and create a happy, whole life, right? Together. And you will create a happy, substantial love. But if you're unhappy and or you're just unhappy, or you're both unhappy, or just he's unhappy, it's like, you're gonna become dependent on each other in an unhealthy way. And it's gonna put strain on the relationship. It's going to put a deep, deep strain on the relationship. So you want to make sure that you are, your most whole, authentic self. You want to make sure that you don't feel like your life depends on your relationship status, right? I'm the wifed up coach. I'm all about getting to the finish line of marriage and commitment and all the other stuff. But you have to be a whole individual, and you have to have a happy, fulfilling life prior to attaining that goal, or even getting in any type of relationship, right? You can't be like, my life begins once I get a man, once I get a husband, right? Yes, marriage, relationships, love, romanticism, all those things are wonderful, beautiful things to obtain towards, right? But there are so many other dynamics of life that are important and that are worth striving towards, right? So you want to make sure that you're a well-rounded individual, and that will help ward off some neediness. And this will go into ways to develop self-love and self-confidence if you have some other goals that you're also working towards, right? So another way to get over neediness and clinginess is so here are some ways to get over neediness and clinginess, right? And so the first way is to develop, and we all know this, self-love, self-esteem, self-confidence, right? And you do that by having a full life and having hobbies that you're good at and pursuing your talents and your gifts, right? Traveling, right? Making friends, keeping friends, spending time with your family, right? These are all ways to develop self-confidence and self-esteem within yourself. These are all ways to feel good about yourself. Exercise, eat healthy, right? This is how you develop the skills necessary to develop the type of love life that you want and to be your most whole and healthy self. So this is the beginning. Then you want to develop boundaries and standards. And I've talked about boundaries and standards throughout our time together, but it's very important for you to develop boundaries and standards in order to overcome your neediness and clinginess. Because as I always state, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything, right? I'm not the first person who made up that quote, but it's one of my favorite quotes because it's so true in pretty much anything in life. If you don't have a standard for your life, if you don't have boundaries for what's acceptable to you, then when a man mistreats you or a man does any type of wrong, you won't be able to recognize it. You may think it's love. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't already have something in place to let you know when a red flag is glaring in your face. So you have to already know boundaries and standards. But I always want to warn people to please understand that boundaries and standards are about you. Expectations are about other people, what you want other people to do, right? And I do not advocate any woman having expectations. You should never go into dating life with expectations, right? Because expectations always, usually, we'll say like 97%, maybe 98% of the time, lead to disappointment and heartbreak. But you can never be heartbroken if you don't expect anything from anyone, right? So you want to make sure that you understand the difference between expectations and standards and boundaries. And as a matter of fact, please let's talk about this in the comments. Let's talk about what is the difference between expectations versus boundaries versus and standards. Boundaries and standards versus expectations. What is the difference? Can you give some examples? Because I've said that expectations like, I expect this from this person. I expect that from this person. I expect them to behave this way, right? Boundary standards are about me. I don't want someone to call me after 9 p.m. That's a boundary, right? I want someone who has a lucrative job. That's a standard, right? You see how those are about you, and you see how the expectation is like, I expect to be called. I expect him to call me every day, right? So that's about him and trying to control the situation. See, expectations are about controlling other people, right? Boundaries and standards are about you and what you will and will not accept. You see the difference? So let's discuss the differences in the comments, and let's just give some examples of standards and boundaries versus expectations, and really see how, ladies, how has expectations led to breaking your own heart, right? So, and then this is another one. Find your passion in life, right? What are you good at? What are you good at? Do you like animals? Do you like to travel? Do you like to hike? There's some other cause, like, are you passionate about child trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking, politics? What are you passionate about? Your religion, fitness? What is some hair, makeup? What are you passionate about? Follow that. Get in tune with that. Follow that road. Learn hobbies. Get into some hobbies. And then lastly, work on your femininity. Read this book. Join my Facebook group. Read my blog. Find out other ways to get in tune with your femininity. Practice the things that you've learned in this book over and over again until you feel that you have it mastered. Practice femininity. Femininity is not something that you're going to really understand very quickly. It's something that is going to take practice, and it depends on your individual learning style and how committed you are to the process. So it could be, 3, 4, 6 months for someone, a year for someone else. But even if you feel like you've gotten it, it's still a lifelong journey. I feel like I've gotten it down pretty well, but I'm still rediscovering aspects of it because it's definitely a lifestyle. So you're never going to know anything of a lifestyle, but you can be a lot further along your journey than you are today. Because as they say, practice makes perfect. So I personally don't believe practice makes perfect, but I feel that you can perfect something. I feel like you can become an expert in it, right? If you keep practicing it. So, and another thing is that you want to do this type of stuff because honestly, you want to have the best relationship. And if you have this neediness, you have this desperation, and you have this type of clingy mentality with men, it's going to turn them off, and you will find yourself in a lot of casual relationships because men will only see you for the most part if they even decide to have a relationship with you for what they can get from you. So you'll find yourself getting used a lot or feeling used a lot when you have a desperate, a needy, and a clingy vibe. You will after every situation feel used. Now, maybe you'll feel used sexually, maybe you'll feel used monetarily, maybe you'll feel used in some other way, emotionally or something like that. But you're always going to feel used after a situation ends with the man when you come off of that vibe, because honestly, he probably most likely did use you because he wasn't able to really give you anything because you had nothing inside of you. And people think like, okay, in order to give, you have to be empty, but that's not true. In order to receive, you have to be empty, but it's not true. It's a circle. So really, in order to receive something, you have to already have an aspect of it inside of yourself. So if you want to receive love, you have to have an aspect of love already within, right? And then you can receive it, right? But if you don't have love inside of you for yourself, you're not able to give it to others and you're not able to receive it. So you're going to give others emptiness and they're going to give you emptiness, right? It's a full circle. So this is why the saying is that you should love others as yourself, because literally when you love yourself, you're loving others. And when you're loving others, you're loving yourself, right? It's a circle. Same thing with treating others how you want to be treated, right? When you treat others a certain type of way, you're treating yourself that same way. So this is why, you know, people who have unhealthy emotional attachments to people find themselves with other people who have unemotionally unhealthy attachments because it's a circle. So you are giving out what you're giving, right? So if you want to change that type of dynamic that you have with men, you want to make sure that you're doing the inner work and always checking yourself to see, am I looking outside of myself for happiness, for fulfillment, for wholeness? Do I feel like a man will complete me? Do I feel like a husband is the answer to all my problems? That I cannot survive outside of that? And if you do, you want to do the inner work to change that. And I have plenty of exercise throughout this book. We can discuss it in my Facebook group, different ways that you can tune into yourself and really get um, rid of that neediness that is keeping you from having a real whole love. Not infatuation, not lust, not obsession, not jealousy, not none of those things that are fake love, but real whole love and companionship. And a lot of women have been in plenty of relationships but never have experienced real love. Been in a lot of sexual relationships but never experienced real love. And it's probably because of your neediness, your desperation, your cleanness. And so you are attracting men who will prey on you, or who also are the same as you. And so they can't give you anything that they don't have. And you can't give them anything that you don't have. Right? So um, hopefully you guys really got something out of this video and you really understand how important it is to do the out of work, because you are what you attract. You attract what you are. And then I'm sure you guys who really believe in the power of the law of attraction really understand what I'm saying when they say like attracts like. This is not ever more so true when it comes to human relationships, ladies. So please, you are beautiful as you are, but we all need to do self-improvement, especially if you see a pattern in your life about the type of men you are attracting. You know, if every man is a cheater, every man is a liar, every man is broke, we're always the common denominator, and we have to do the inner work to look at ourselves. Okay, so hopefully you learned something from this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel, and more information about the book will be in the description, as well as how to join my free Facebook group. I really hope you enjoyed 21 Days to Feminine Magnetism. And please, please, please leave a review on Amazon. Please, please leave a review on Amazon. Alrighty. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.